On a quiet, forgotten planet far away in the galaxy, an alien explorer named Zorak was searching for something valuable. He was curious and brave, but also careless. Deep in an ancient cave, he found a strange, glowing object sealed inside a crystal. Ice. It looked old and powerful, like nothing he had ever seen. Without thinking, Zorak reached out and touched the glowing artifact. Suddenly, the seal cracked open with a loud sound, and a bright, fierce energy burst out. The whole cave shook, and strange blue light filled the air. Zorak stumbled back, scared and confused. Far away on Earth, humans were living their normal lives, unaware that something had changed. But inside their bodies, a strange power started to wake up, a power that had been locked away for thousands of years. The galaxy had always thought humans were weak, small, simple creatures with no real strength. But now the broken seal had released a secret. Humans were not what they seemed. They were something more, something ancient and dangerous. Zorak's mistake had begun a chain of events that no one could stop. The peaceful humans were about to become the greatest warriors the galaxy had ever seen, and the galaxy was about to burn. The moment the seal broke, something deep inside every human began to change. It started with small things, strange dreams filled with old battles and unknown places. People felt stronger, faster, and more alive than before, even if they didn't understand why. In a quiet town, a young man named Liam suddenly noticed his hands glowing faintly with blue light. When he lifted a heavy rock with ease, he knew something inside him was different. But he was scared. What was happening to him? At the same time, far beyond Earth, alien watchers grew nervous. They had always believed humans were simple and easy to ignore. Now, they sent their spies closer to watch these new changes. The aliens whispered among themselves, unsure of what was coming next. Meanwhile, an old woman, known as the Keeper of Stories, sat quietly in her home. She was one of the few who remembered the ancient truth. Humans had once been mighty warriors long ago, guardians of great power. But over time, they had lost their strength and forgotten their past. The Keeper knew the broken seal had awakened, something that could change everything. She looked out at the stars and whispered, "The time of the sleeping gods is over. The true power of humanity will soon be seen." Back on Earth, Liam and others like him began to gather. They didn't understand what was happening, but they felt a strange connection to each other. Something was calling them, a force older than anyone could imagine. The galaxy was holding its breath. What would happen when the humans fully remembered who they really were? No one could say. But one thing was clear: nothing would ever be the same again. The calm that had once surrounded Earth was fading fast. Strange events were happening everywhere: power outages, sudden bursts of light, and whispers of something unseen moving through the cities. People were confused, scared, but also curious. What was changing inside them? One evening, near a small town, an alien scout ship quietly landed. The aliens thought it would be an easy mission, to observe and report on the humans' new, strange behavior. But they did not expect what happened next. A young woman named Maya was walking near the landing site. She felt a sudden rush of energy inside her. Without understanding how, she moved toward the scout ship. The moment the alien saw her, something happened. Maya's body glowed softly and she reached out her hand. The scout froze in surprise, then quickly turned and left. The aliens began to realize that humans were not just changing, they were growing stronger, faster, and more aware. Something deep inside was awakening, something they had never seen before. Meanwhile, in a hidden place on Earth, the Keeper of Stories gathered those who were beginning to feel this change. She told them the ancient tales, stories of the human warriors who once protected the galaxy from great dangers. These were not just legends. They were truth, waiting to be remembered. Maya listened carefully. She was not sure she believed everything, but she could feel the power growing inside her. The humans were no longer the simple creatures the galaxy had ignored. They were becoming something new. The alien leaders far away sent urgent messages. They warned each other to watch the humans closely. What was once a quiet, distant planet was now the center of a mystery that could change the future of many worlds. The stars seemed brighter, and the air was filled with tension. Something big was coming, and no one knew what it would bring. The humans were waking up, and the galaxy was waiting. Far beyond Earth, in the grand halls of the Galactic Council, the leaders gathered in urgent meeting. News from the outer worlds had been troubling. Humans were changing in ways no one expected. The peaceful planet they once ignored was becoming a puzzle, and maybe a threat. The council chambers were filled with voices speaking quickly, trying to understand what was happening. Some believed the humans had unlocked a power that had been hidden for centuries. Others thought it was just a strange phase, something that would soon pass. Meanwhile, on Earth, the humans who felt the change were preparing in their own quiet way. They did not shout or gather armies. Instead, they trained their minds and bodies, learning to control the new strength growing inside them. Liam and Maya, now close friends, were part of a small group that met under the light of the stars. The Keeper of Stories taught them old knowledge. How humans once were protectors, not just of their own world but of the galaxy itself. They spoke softly about the future, about choices they had to make. The humans could become guardians of peace or something else entirely. But first, they had to understand their power. At the same time, the alien leaders sent messages across the galaxy, warning other planets. Many listened carefully, preparing for what might come. Some feared the humans, others hoped to learn from them. Back on Earth, Liam looked at the sky one night and wondered what his place was in this new story. He felt the power within him grow stronger, but also felt the weight of responsibility. This was only the beginning. The galaxy was watching, waiting for the next move, and whatever happened, it was clear that the age of humans was just starting. The quiet before the storm was gone. Signals from across the galaxy grew louder, and the tension could be felt in every corner of space. Humans were no longer just a mystery. They were becoming a force that others could no longer ignore. Liam stood at the edge of a large field with his friends. They were ready, but not with weapons or machines. Their strength was something different, an energy inside them that made them faster, stronger, and smarter. They trained every day, learning to control this power and use it wisely. One day, a group of alien scouts arrived, not with anger, but with caution. They came to speak, to understand what was happening on Earth. Maya stepped forward, calm and steady, and spoke for her people. She told them about the awakening, about the ancient strength that humans had always carried inside. The aliens listened, surprised by her words, and by the peaceful way humans approached the situation. They realized that this was not the beginning of conflict, but a chance for a new understanding. At the same time, across the galaxy, other planets watched closely. Some prepared their defenses, while others sent envoys to Earth, hoping to learn from the humans' secret power. Liam and his friends knew that this was only the start. The humans had to show they could use their power for good, to protect their world and others. It was a test, not of strength, but of heart. As the stars shone, bright above them, Liam felt hope growing inside. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity was ready to step into a new role, one that would change the galaxy forever. And so, the story of the awakened humans continued, with new challenges, new friends, and a promise that nothing would ever be the same again. The world had changed. Humans were no longer hidden beneath old stories and quiet lives. Their true power was known across the stars, and many eyes watched Earth with new respect and a little fear. Liam stood on a hill, looking up at the night sky. The stars seemed closer now, as if the universe itself was inviting humanity to take its place among the great powers. Around him, people from all walks of life were discovering the strength within themselves. Strength not just of body, but of spirit. Maya joined him, her eyes shining with hope. They had been through so much, learning, growing, facing uncertainty, but They had also found something powerful: unity. The humans who had once been divided now stood together, ready to face whatever came next. Far away, the Galactic Council watched in silence. They had seen the humans rise, not through battles or destruction, but through courage and wisdom. The ancient power that once slept in humans was not meant to conquer, but to protect. The Keeper of Stories spoke softly to those gathered around her. "This is just the beginning," she said. "There is more hidden inside us. Strength we have, yet to understand. The galaxy will need us in ways we cannot yet imagine." And so a new chapter began. Humans reached out to other worlds not as enemies but as friends and allies. They shared knowledge and helped those in need. The galaxy, once filled with doubt, now held hope. Liam smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also the promise of a brighter future. The ancient fury that had been unleashed was no longer something to fear. It was a light guiding humanity toward a new destiny. The stars above whispered of adventures to come, of challenges to face, and of a story that was far from over. For humanity, the journey was just beginning.